Hey everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video review, and today we're going to be doing another video game review, and that will be of Mortal Kombat! Or Mortal Kombat 9, or Mortal Kombat 2011, or Mortal Kombat the Remake. It has like 20 different names. But anyways, let's take a look at this video game cover right here. Now, in doing this video, I'm going to talk about it more as like a blog. It's something to really express my opinions on this game, rather than an actual formal review. Why? Well, there's a lot to this game, and it's kind of difficult to exactly how to approach it, because it is basically a remake of the first three Mortal Kombat games, or first three tournaments. The basic concept of the story is that in Mortal Kombat Armageddon, Raiden is losing to Shao Kahn. He then sends his memories back in time to the past, to the original tournament, which surprisingly everyone has different costumes in, and tries to alter the future so that Shao Kahn doesn't win. The game pretty much encompasses the first three games of the series, the first three tournaments, and making a new history, a new timeline. That's the basic concept of the story, and also the reimagining of the series. See, Mortal Kombat definitely needed a facelift because, in my opinion, and again, this is my own personal opinion, Mortal Kombat really hasn't been good since Mortal Kombat 3 or 4. The only other game that really stood out for me was Deception, but even then, it was just meh. The Mortal Kombat series just didn't do well. It didn't transition over well, and it just didn't hold up to all the other games that have been out on the fighting series, like Street Fighter, Guilty Gear, Samurai Showdown, King of Fighters, although you can argue some of those. But the fact of the matter is Mortal Kombat just didn't do well. However, there's always been a soft spot in my heart for Mortal Kombat, because it's one of the first fighting games I've ever played. I remember being about 6 years old playing Mortal Kombat, seeing people's heads getting ripped off, or skulls breathing on people, fire, and torturing them to death, and playing the game with my brother, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. It was a fun game. Incredibly violent, and it helped desensitize me to everything else in the world. So good for you, Mortal Kombat! You made me into a monster. Or at least my desensitization into a monster. Well, anyways, the fact of the matter is I enjoyed the original games. I enjoyed the first three games, and to a point I enjoyed the rest of the games, but as I said, the series wasn't doing well, so it definitely needed a remake, it definitely needed a facelift. And boy, did they do it here. Mortal Kombat, and I'm going to be frank and upfront right away, has to be my favorite video game in the fighting genre in a long time. In a long time. I'm not the biggest video game fighting fan. I love fighting games, but my main fighting game series that I enjoy are my favorite being Samurai Showdown. I love Samurai Showdown. It's my favorite. The best one is 2. Number 2 is the best. Samurai Showdown was my favorite. I like Street Fighter to a point. Mortal Kombat has to be my second favorite. King of Fighters is good. Rival Schools is good. You know, you can kind of go down the line. Blaze Blue, Guilty Gear, so on and so forth. I like fighting games, but I have to say, in a long time I haven't seen a good fighting game. I mean, we can look at all the remakes that have come out, all the sequels that have come out, and none of them really have done good. By the way, I'm not counting Brawl and Melee as a fighting game, although I love those games to death. More Melee than Brawl. But, really, none of the games have impressed me that much in the fighting game genre. Even the Street Fighter 4, I really haven't liked Street Fighter 4 that much. People are going to smite me down with that, but I found it to be a slow game with a very unbalanced character tears. You have like 3 characters at the top, and then you have everyone else pretty much at the bottom. And my favorite, C. Viper, is at the bottom. Oh, I love C. Viper, but she's just not all that great. You really need to know how to play her. And I wasn't really impressed with games recently, but Mortal Kombat is fantastic. It does have problems, mind you, but the character selection is great. The characters all look great. My favorite character? Get over here! Scorpion, you know it. I love Scorpion. I love playing as Scorpion, Noob Saibok, Scarlet. My friend has her downloaded on PS3 version. And Smoke. Those are my 4 favorites. Scorpion being my best. Noob probably being my second best, Scarlet being my third, and Smoke kind of being in the lower tier area. But All the character selections are good. The characters are fairly well balanced. There are some characters better than others. God, Nightwolf is ridiculously good. But for the most part, none of the characters suck. Like in... I'm sure you could play any character in this game and the characters be fantastically and good. Fantastically. It's a new word. I just made it up. Fantastic and good. You could dominate with Dan if you had to. But it takes a lot of work, and I don't have the time to get all that effort and all that play time into a character. With this, characters are very easy to learn. Even some of the more complicated ones are very easy to learn. The combo system is nice. You don't have 12 million buttons you have to hit for a combo. I think the longest combo is a 3-button hit, and I like that. It's quicker. It's faster paced. The moves are easy to pull off. Quick, fast-paced moves. It's just overall the gameplay back to its 2D style. Very nicely done. Beautiful. The graphics are great. The story for what it is, I mean, Mortal Kombat's not well known for its story. Fighting games aren't really well known for their stories. But the story itself is good. Mortal Kombat, I have to say, is a fantastic game. I love this game. It is ridiculously good. I really do. The only problem that can come out of Mortal Kombat is this. They did so well to the game, where do they really go from here? It's kind of like with first-person shooters, the fighting game genre is really kind of at a roadblock. I mean, what do you really do to add to a game? You've really done as much as you can right now. I mean, a lot of people talk about how FPSs are so good, but they're all pretty much the same in my mind. There may be a gimmick here or a gimmick there or something good here or something good there, but they're really all the same. Someone actually scorned me for not caring about Halo, and I think Halo's a good series, but I don't praise it because it doesn't do anything better that no other game has already done beforehand. And the same could be said for fighting games. Some may control better than other fighting games, but in the end, they all kind of feel the same. They'll be, certain controls here, the certain side-to-side 2D fighting here. There's really not much more to offer to them. So, I mean, really, where do you go with the sequel here? What do you add to it to make it good? And if you add something, will it actually work against it? This game, individually, is great. But when it comes down to Mortal Kombat as a series, although it's revitalized it a lot, I'm still concerned on exactly where it's going to go. It's like with Street Fighter. It's a great game, although I don't enjoy it as much as other people. It's a great game, but where do you really go there? You play the same freaking characters over and over again. The one thing I did like about this is they really mixed up the status quo. For example, Cyber Sub-Zero instead of Smoke becoming Cyber. All the characters are changed up, and it's not the same Ryu or Homeru or Scorpion over and over again. Actually, Scorpion is pretty much the same. Vengeance will be mine! But you gotta love Scorpion for what he is. I mean, if you look at the Street Fighter game, and not bashing on Street Fighter too much, but Ryu, he's the same guy. Ken, he's the same guy. Akuma, same guy. M. Bison, same guy. They add new characters, but the new characters are not nearly as good as the old ones. If you look at this, everyone's pretty much different, and the new characters are fun. Striker, get ready for some police brutality. And you know what the great thing is? Is this, on a whole, is a guilty pleasure. Not only does it play well, but it's an absolute guilty pleasure. There's blood, gore, atrocious violence, absolutely ridiculous costumes, especially for the women, which can be a little too much sometimes, but it's just a guilty pleasure. My girlfriend called the females in this game, when she saw Melina, slutty dental hygienist. Interesting. Melina. I mean, it is on a whole guilty pleasure. It's a good game. I do recommend people pick it up. It has to be one of the better fighting games that I've played in a long time. Where does it rank on my favorite fighting games of all time? It does break the top 10, but I'm not sure if it's at the high points. I still hold a lot of Samurai Showdowns up there at the high points. Yeah, like I said, this is kind of an informal video. Not really much of a review. Just me kind of giving my thoughts on Mortal Kombat. This 2011 remake, number 9 edition. If you haven't got it yet, get it. Good gameplay, good mechanics, fast-paced. That's one thing I like that this did. It was fast-paced. Characters are all new. Characters look good. And just overall fun. And you know what? The X-rays I thought were going to be atrocious, but they're actually pretty good. They're pretty fun. So yes, Mortal Kombat. Really loved it. I recommend you guys check it out. This is Andrew saying peace out for now.